Hey everyone, Mortgage Nerd here. So I want to talk to you today about the Trump case in New York. Not about Trump, not about politics, but how does this affect every single commercial real estate owner or developer? Now you might think, oh, that's just the cream of the crop. That's the top 1% or whatever you want to think. I own a commercial property, the one I'm in right now. I'm going to show you here on the screen. I'm going to show you how we have to estimate our values somewhat frequently whenever we're getting different kinds of loans through either a personal financial statement if you're giving a personal guarantee or a statement of financial condition. There are different statements that banks and lenders will ask for to help you explain to them and show them your different real estate ownership, what you think the value is, without getting an appraisal. You know, an appraisal is where you get somebody who comes in and checks the comps and makes sure and says, this is your value. It would cost thousands of dollars every time you do it. Big properties, I mean, tens of thousands. I don't even know how much those appraisals are because my biggest property is a 5,500 square foot commercial building. But let's look at what I'm talking about. First of all, here, when you look at my screen, this is my building near Dayland Mall. There it is, nice parking lot, freestanding building. So let's look right here at the assessment information. This is what the county uses to charge me taxes. They use this $1.4 million value. Is that my value? I bought this property in 2015 for $1.675 million. There's a property just a couple buildings away. If we go this way, I think it's this one, that you can see right here in 2020 sold for almost the same amount, 1.65. But the square footage is far smaller. It's 3,100 square feet minus 5,500 square feet. So this one's 55% of mine and sold for almost the exact same amount 5 years later, 5.5 years later, which is now over 3 years ago. So at this time that it's sold, if you did the math, my value is about $3 million. But didn't we just show how the tax value, the county is showing the value as $1.4 million? You can see right here. If I fill out a personal financial statement or statement of financial condition, I'm going to write $3 million or more on there. Maybe now I could write $4 million because it's been 3 years since that. We know appreciation has been strong in 2021 and the beginning of 2022. Am I now a fraud? That's exactly what this case is stating, that when I fill this out, this is a personal financial statement. It's from my company, but whenever I've gotten a commercial mortgage, like I did in 2020, and SBA loans, whatever I might fill out, they're going to ask me for this. You're going to real estate owned. So here I put all my properties. I have 5 residential properties in this commercial property. All of this, what's the percentage I own? What's the original cost? What's my estimated value? What's the assessed value? Assessed value is the tax value. Am I a fraud for putting a much higher value than what they think it's worth? Because I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars to get an appraisal every time I'm asked to fill one of these out. So now this ruling sets a precedent in New York that every single commercial real estate owner like myself, if they have a reason to come after you, whatever reason that might be, could now make you a fraud, even though you didn't hurt anyone, even though you may have paid your bills on time. This sets the precedent for a Republican to do this to a Democratic candidate that is their opponent. We have to see that these types of practices, it's not right in whichever direction you go in politics. This needs to stop because these are normal business practices. And for those that say, I saw a clip, the media person kept saying to Mr. Wonderful, but isn't this supposed to level the playing field? How? How is this leveling the playing field? That means that I have to spend thousands more as the little guy trying to make it up to be one of these big guys. It doesn't help me get there. It hinders me from getting to those levels because now I have to spend money to get an appraisal to make sure that I'm not a fraud. So how is this helping the little guy? Now you might say, oh, you're not the little guy, Phil. Well, no, I was the little guy. I bought my first property at 22. It was a little condo, 0% down because I'm a veteran, and I built my way up from there, and I had a bankruptcy along the way. So yeah, I'm the little guy working my way up, and there's no way I'll get to those high levels if these types of restrictions keep coming down. And that's why I'll never do business in a state like New York again. I used to have my license there. I'll never do it again. Mortgage Nerd out.